Buenos días y alegrías, mi familia. What's up, fam? Grand rising. It's super early in the morning. I've got 5:23. I've been up. I've been up. I'd say at 3:19 I woke up. I woke up to the song by the Carpenters. I woke up to the song of the Carpenters. And it was why do birds suddenly appear? When it hurts, you are near. I know that's not how the song goes, but like my subconscious wanted to sing it that way. And we have it like this for a good reason. The wee hours of the morning. As we set this intention to untwist our lives and unfuck ourselves up. Unfuck it up. Because we don't intend to fuck your lives up. Not us, of spiritual healing, of spiritual endeavors, of walking the path, of talking the talk, of being that person that says what needs to be said. And when sometimes those words are hard to say it, even though our mouths tremble and our chins shake and the tears are running from your eyes, that is the courage that God wants for you. To say the things you have deep inside your heart. The feelings that burrow, make little wormholes in your heart that are just there, like stewing and festering and just corroding of corrosion. Just this fucking... I'm gonna put the light somewhere y'all can see it. These feelings. And I've got my ultimate favorite song of all time. Hands down. Every time I hear the song, it gets me. It like understands what I'm feeling, like, but like deep in your heart, like just ripped up and it's oozing blood. And I give it to Zombie by the Cranberries. Now, I remember when I was a kid, and I'm listening to it right now. I'm gonna pause it. I remember when I was a kid, and my family, it just wasn't the family you saw on Disney. It's not the family you see on TV. But when you see those families on TV, it makes you realize that there are families out there in real life that are like that. Because where else would they get the inspiration from to make these families? And so, the Zombies, Zombie by the Cranberries. Oh man, Dolores. Now, I had a cousin. My cousin, he loved me. And the best way that he could love me. Not that there was something wrong with his love, but it was more like, it was on the down low. Because a lot of my family members are insanely jealous that you would pick her over me. How dare you? I thought we were close. I thought we were tight. Even though we're all family. And I know my cousin felt like that. Like, we're all family, what the fuck? But he was very calculated with what he said and how he said it and to whom he said it. He was very skilled at that. And I admired that of him. It was a skill of communication that he knew if I say this to this person, they're going to explode, and it's going to be shit everywhere, and it's going to be on my name. And I don't want that. He knew. How did he know? I don't know. He was a fucking master at it. I mean, that's probably why he became a lawyer. He was fucking good at that. And I picked up on that. Like he knew how to question things, analyze things, study things, observe them, and then witness as the story would unfold itself before his very eyes of what he thought was going to go down. Like he knew. He was my Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan. Definitely. And he gave me my first pair of rollerblades. He gave me my first Nintendo. I should say my only Nintendo. My only pair of rollerblades. Hi, baby. Why don't you go back to sleepy peepees? He bought me my first boombox. It was a Sony boombox. Okay. Come here. Come here, right here. You lay right there. Go sleep. And I bought myself two albums. It was like MTV's Greatest Volumes, whatever, and then I bought the Cranberries. Those two albums, 2 CDs. But the one that you would hear on repeat coming from Connie's room was Zombie. Blasted, full blast. It was full blast on my little turning knob. I actually have a picture of it, my first boombox. And that was the most incredible day of my life when I received that. It changed my life. It changed my world. So I would hear Zombies on repeat every day, all day, for whatever reason. Happy or sad, angry or mad, frustrated or tired, that song was playing all day long. Now for me, when I heard that song, I understand that she wrote that song. Dolores wrote that song because they were having a lot of wars in England, and there was so many kids that were going hungry, and the parents, who knows what happened to the parents, or they would be separated from their moms, the children. And for me, that wasn't what was happening for me. Right? She says, zombie, what's in your head? In your head, zombie. And even though today we would say people who are on the phone like this is now zombie, zombie, can you hear us? I do want to say good morning, happy Sunday. This is August the 24th. It is now 5:32 and we started at 5:23. 23:32. There's an entanglement there of somebody who wants to take something from you. Even though they didn't work at it, and now they want to come around and say, oh, I got it too. Go for it. Do you. Get off my channel. Zombie in your head was, fuck, man. It was like that phrase. It was like running away from home, but not leaving. That was what another thing was art. That's what art is. It was running away from home, but not ever moving from that same spot that you're sitting in the shit that you're in. That's what art is. It was running away emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Running away as an E, as an M, or a W? Or were you running from 3 people? Now the EMW, for me, that's like you were running away towards the letter E, the letter M, or the W, right? A woman, a man, or the eternal love's flame. I bet you didn't think about it like that. The eternal love flame. That you people, if I put this here, it'll be too bright, right? Yeah. Not you people, like you people, but like people per se. Honey, don't eat that. No. My babies are dogs. It was running away, but sitting in the same spot. It was that feeling where they just get it. You get it. Even though she was in England and I was in the US. I was in Texas in a little small fucking town called Loserville. Of all the same people, of all the same culture, of all the same race, of all the same religion. Yeah. So when I encounter all the same thing, I'm like, oh fuck no. This is a trap. Where are the exits? You guys want to go outside? It's like 5 in the morning. I don't fucking think so. It's dark out there. These kids. What's in your head? What's in your head? In your head. And then I heard the remake by, is it Bad Wolves? Yeah. They did it more like rock, like louder. But, or the fact that it's a man who's singing. That I was like, eh. But I like the fact he incorporated some type of modernism of the words, like it was androids. Or, not androids. Oh, well, robots, right? Drones or some shit like that. Girls! You better go potty outside. I better see poop on the grass than you running around and effing around. I don't like you guys running around there at night because of the fucking cat that's out there. Are you listening to me? I'm gonna turn on the back for y'all. And it's all wet and you don't like stepping on the wet grass. It's true, that's how what parents complain about. Anyways, when I tell you this song for me, it's like it's like pouring out your heart. It's like pouring your heart out. That you're not the only one who's suffering in silence. You're not the only one who has problems. You're not the only one who's got some fucking bullshit happening in their life. And you turn out to be the redheaded stepchild, even though you're blood. Or so we think. I'm still trying to figure that one out. I think I was adopted, but I don't think anybody's saying it. Ain't nobody got brains like I do. How to put shit of 2 and 2 together. And I've been doing that since I was a little kid. Since I was little. I was always correcting these adults. telling them, no, that's not right. You don't have to do it like that. You could do it this way and it'd be easier and then nobody gets hurt or whatever. But nobody was listening to little Connie. I am your Supra Cobra to deliver the message from Her Majesty upon the great beyond. That's further than you would think. I don't think that. You guys who are outthinkers, outspokers, you guys can think yourselves into a coma, into many fucking different directions of how it's gonna play out, because you had a fucked up childhood, yo. You had a fucked up childhood, and so you have to literally contemplate which way the game is gonna be played. And so for you to survive and not be attacked, you have to, it is like literally walking on landmines. You have to perfectly position your foot in the direction of which way you're going to go to not be hurt, insulted, manipulated, manufactured in any which way. Go to sleep. Where's your sister? This little turd. Get your butt inside now. Go lay down. Yes, I said go lay down. So, you had to carefully position your words, carefully position where you walk, carefully position what you're going to say, to whom you're going to say it, and how you're going to say it. It was careful. You were cautious. And what people would call you calculated and cold. Nah, bitch. You don't know what I had to go through. I was fighting the demon that surrounded my family. The demon, the witch, the vampire, the crazy stalker, the dream master. I was fighting so many different illusions, or you guys might call illness, illusions is the same thing. And so you have to be very strategic in the words that you say and how you say it and to whom you say it. And that fight, it puts years on you. It puts years on you. Mental abuse, mental work. Let me tell you, my brain, if you could see my brain, would be the biggest fucking muscly brain you've ever seen in your life. It's cut. It's swole. It's fucking trim, cut, lean, just lean, mean, rocking machine, just it's sharp. That's why my tongue is sharp. Not here with you guys. With you guys, I feel I can be myself and not have to worry about what the fuck I'm gonna say or how the fuck I'm gonna say it. I just fucking say it and hope you take it well and not of offense. Because I don't want you on the fence. I want you to know and for you to decide what is right and what is wrong in your life. Now remember, I am not there with you, but technically, I am. And so here today, we're talking about what's in your head. What's in your head? Now, Eminem also did write a remake on it too that I was like, ah, badass. Another fucking artist who understands what the fuck I'm going through. Or I should say, what the fuck I've been through. I had the same mom, dude. When he talks about his mom, I'm just like, there's parts that yes and parts that no, but you know, I say my mom is Sleeping Beauty. What do you all think? How do you all think she ended up as Sleeping Beauty? Now, if you've picked up in the videos, I've thrown out pieces here and there. And I do that on purpose to teach you how to connect the dots together. Okay? Think of it as a study, and this is the class of mirror work. Mirrors versus reflections. And in the mirror, somebody might have a picture of you on it as they try to imitate you. Not necessarily in, I can do it better, but if you give me words of inspiration, you help me through the darkness. You are my light in the dark times. Or it could be a stand, right? Like how Eminem taught us. An overzealous, obsessive fan. And the fact that he didn't get his letter right away was a protection from the divine. This is why we teach you patience. Practice patience. It's all in divine timing. It'll come to you when you're at a good point in your life or when you're ready to know and to do something about it. Some of you may not be there. Some of you are walking the walk. Some of you, I should say, the beginning is learning to talk. The beginning is learning to talk. Talk about your emotions without getting upset. Talk about your emotions and not being blasted back into the past of when it first happened to you. That right there is like when you're triggered about something that has happened to you. And it's reminding your subconscious of the same story that played out when you were 10 or 8 or 7, whatever number it is for you in your childhood. Okay? And so the hurt comes back up. Now at this time, it's coming back up for healing with a set of new eyes. You are older now. You have a bigger vocabulary, a bigger understanding of why things occur or how and why they play out like they do. And so you're like, okay, I get why she did what she did. At this point in my life, in my age, I understand. But if I was in that situation, I would have done a different route. I would have taken a different route. I would have said something different. I would have taken steps differently. This is where the differentness is the 12 zodiac signs. The 12 signs. But they forgot one. The healer. That's the one they don't want you to talk about. That's the one they don't want you to know. That's the one they're like, nah, whatever, dude. Whatever. Nobody heals. Nobody changes. Everybody stays the same. It's always the same fucking bullshit. No, bitch. They fucking triggered you. And you snapped and went into autopilot of a frozen part once upon a time from the fucking past. And you're recreating the same thing. But I'm the asshole because I told you. I'm the asshole who caught it and told you, what the fuck do you keep doing the same thing? What? The fuck you talking about? Yeah. She just told you what she needed, and you flipped the script and made it about yourself. Like, well, fuck you. What about me? And what about this? And what about that? Why is that? Where the fuck does that come from? Who fucking hurt you first? Was it your mom or your dad? Was it your brother or your sister? Was it your aunt or your uncle? Was it your cousins? Or your neighbors? Was it the guy from church or the guy from school? Who the fuck was it? This is where you have to reflect back and write in your journal to remember who the fuck said it to you first. This is the healing. Niña, ven. This is the healing. ¿Qué quieres? ¿Eh? ¿Qué te pasa, mi niña? Ay, no te levantas, ahí te quedas. Sí, por favor. No. Oh my goodness. Give me a minute, guys. Come here. Oh, come here. It's not the end of the world if I'm not right next to you, baby. You're gonna be okay. Wait a minute. We just got a message on the field at 5:51. They know they could never. They have to hate to make themselves feel better. And that's what we're up against, y'all. They hate you to make themselves feel better about themselves. It's easier to beat someone up than to take accountability for their mistakes, of their actions, of their words that they keep fucking repeating. But you're the asshole that brought it to their attention. You're the asshole that told them, why are you such a bitch? And in their eyes, what do you mean? I treat you fine. I offer you food. I take you places. What are you talking about? You have a very fucked up way of talking to people. You are very rude, very passive aggressive, and very gaslighting. Where somebody tells you one thing about yourself and it's, oh, no, I'm a saint. Don't you know? I lift this up so you can see my fucking eyebrow when I'm doing it to you, because you're fucking what? Insane. Because I take it for me. I'm 44 years old and I have left my hometown, left the state, left far, far away and went east. And being out in a different environment with other people of different races, of different cultures, for me, that's heaven. It's heaven. Because I get to interact with different ways of thinking, different ways of people who live their lives, of doing their life. And I'm just kind of like, wow, that's what you think? I'm out here meeting people who are of the Hindu faith, Muslim faith, Buddhism faith, Christians and Catholic. Well, Catholics is forever, Christians, yeah. But like, just different. Taoism, Confucianism, Judaism. Shit, we didn't have any Jews back home. There was no Jews there. If there was, they were in the closet. In the closet. You lay down, honey. And not just that, but like race, you know? And I know, y'all are like the fucking race card. No, not like that. I don't see you guys like that. Fuck no. For me, it's more like, what's this person gonna say today? What's this guy gonna say today? What's this chick gonna say today? It's always gonna be something hilarious. But if you can't see life as humor, then what are you doing? You're not really living your life fully. Okay? Now, what's in your head is something we need to dive into. We need to really think these things through. You really need to think things through before you open your mouth. Because some of y'all don't realize the filter is clogged. There's tons of dust there. It hasn't been cleaned since 1910. Oh, she just bit my toe. It hasn't been cleaned since 1910. The filter is clogged. Probably never been cleaned. Check out the light. The fucking light went out by itself. I didn't even blow it out. But look at that red tip. You be hot under the collar. You be heated. And then you wonder why you got high blood pressure? Bitch, please. You wonder why your health is being affected because you haven't let go of all that anger? Of that resentment? Of that guilt? When I have clients who have cancer, I had one client had cancer, and I told her, when she came to me, they couldn't understand why the tumors kept coming back. And so when you come to me, you're coming to me on a spiritual base. This is where I'm going to put every single piece together to see the bigger picture. How it is physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. The 4 elements. And then as I'm talking to you, God will reply to what I'm saying or give me the answer as to why. The only thing we can do is the dog. And we'll talk about the dog in a little bit. Now this client came to me. And I don't ever reveal names. And people won't even remember. So it's okay. Now, mind you, at the time, I was just a phlebotomist, drawing her blood, just sitting in my chair. And I always told people who were listening, I said, I always think it's funny how they think this chair is confessional. That every time they come and speak to me, they know who they're talking to. And so they decide to let go and let God. And so I listen. And she told me, I don't know why these tumors keep coming back. I was at the clinic for internal medicine. I don't know why these tumors keep coming back. Why do they keep coming back? She said. I said, do you really want an answer, or are you just molding over the information you just got? And she looked at me like, you're listening. I said, yes, I can hear you. I speak English. And she was like, oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. And I was like, I didn't take it any which way. I'm telling you. And she was like, okay. What do you think? What do I think about what? Why these tumors keep coming back? She said, yeah. You want my opinion? Or you want the higher opinion? And she said, what does the higher one say? I said, okay. Now this is when God speaks through me. She said, because of what I'm learning through my spirituality, I learned certain things of certain patterns of certain people, whether that's race or feminine or age. None of that shit matters. Are you listening? None of that shit matters. Energy is infinite. And I said, okay. I said, when cancer forms energetically, why don't you come over here? Right here. They're right here next to me. Thank you. When cancer forms energetically, there's one of two things. You either have grief or guilt you will not let go of. Do you know why it's only two principles? Mother or father. Mother or father. She looked at me like, she said, and she's listening to me, guilt or grief? I said, yeah. You won't let go. And she's like, okay. I said, before you asked me about the tumors, you were talking to the other phlebotomist about your ex-husband. And he did this to you, and he did that to you, and he did this to you, and what a piece of shit, and blah, blah, blah. Because the last patient had the same name as him. Trigger. And suddenly, you were projected back into time of a memory of a rhyme. And she was like, in utter disbelief that I caught that in 2.2 seconds. Because she felt like I had been watching her whole life. I said, remember, you asked for a higher opinion. I gave you my perspective, but then I gave you the higher point of view. Their eagle eye. And she said, wow. I don't think anybody has ever told it to me in such words. In such words, she said. I apologize because I felt the heat coming off of her. The heat index in that room, mind you, it was a little room, but it started to get hot in there because I started to feel the heat. So I said, okay, I apologize if I have made you feel some type of way. And I say that because I don't know specifically what she's thinking yet. Now, people call this mind mapping. No. The spirits tell me what she's thinking. And so I was like, okay. I said, what if this is just a conversation in your mind and you're asleep and you asked a question to God and you said, God, why is it that I keep forming tumors? And this is just a dream. And I'm the one presenting the answer to you. And she felt, and then at that moment, I felt it. I felt exactly where it was coming from. It had started in her boob and went down to the side of her stomach. And in this side of my stomach, It was literally the liver or a kidney. If it's the liver, it's because she'd been drinking. If it's the kidney, it's because of fear. Some type of fear she was afraid of the false evidence appearing real. That made her believe it was real. As long as you believe it's real, it's real. Vampires and goblins and ghouls and whatever. Niña! Shh! Now, I'm not saying that demons and vampires and ghouls aren't real. Or am I? It's up to you. Depending on what level of spiritualness you are, you'll know. That's how we know what path you're on. So, I felt that, and I told her. I was like, you hold on to some sort of fear. It's a fear-based, something you're afraid of. And then she started to look at me like I was a psychic. Like, how do you know? How do you know? And I said, I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel you. And she was still kind of like, what the fuck? What the fuck is happening right now? I'm still there and I'm still telling her. I said, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? I said, tell me. Help me help you. And then I felt it. The shutdown. The cold breath of death. I blew out the flame that she hid, that she was afraid. Shh, you're okay. It's okay. That cold draft of air, it's not death. It's your aura. And you have just shut down and pushed the other person out. Your wall mechanisms, your self-defense mechanisms. Some of us can feel it. Some of us can identify what it is. Some of us know what it's saying. Because we have been fighting these mental wars for a long time. And she started to cry. She broke down. Because I told her the moment it was happening, and I said, and now you just shut down. Now I can't pick up on you anymore. You have literally pushed me out of your energy. I can't feel anything. And she was shocked. How do you, and just the tears. I said, honey, darling, if you could just for one day look at me like I'm your best friend. I was trying to help you. I'm just trying to help you. I'm just trying to give you the information that you need to know to help you to heal it, to stop it, to be done with it. And you don't have to repeat it. And she started crying and she was just like, I got my answer. I got my answer. I said, okay. I said, I apologize if I'm scaring you. I said, some of us have gifts that people out there wouldn't even imagine. You wouldn't even believe me if I told you. If I had told you what I knew, would you believe me? Or would it have been easier for me just to tell you why? Would you believe me if I just spoke the words of God coming through? I said, for me, when I learned how it all connected, I was asking God, show me. I want to see it. I want to know. I want to feel it. Show me. Now, not everybody gets initiated into these gifts. You have to prove yourself of worth, of caliber, of honor. That what you're doing is to uplift humanity and not be selfish, to manipulate others, to use these gifts as a form of manipulation, to get your way. That's a big no-no. And so if you do, you will be stripped of every single gift they have given you. So I would be careful. You must honor your gifts as you honor the divine. God, Allah, whoever you pray to, it's all the same. All paths lead to the same one. She cried, she had a moment, she hugged me and thanked me, and it was great. And I felt like I did something good in the world. I felt like I really helped somebody. Until the next day. When I arrived at work the next day, I got pulled in by the office manager. Now, those of you who don't know, the office manager also has or had cancer that kept reoccurring. That wasn't something I didn't know until I was told by another co-worker who told me. And I thought, well, isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain. The rain, man. I go into the office. I sit down. Mind you, this lady is short. And for all of you who know, short people have this thing that I have to prove my self-worth in her stature. So I made down that I made sure I sat and I shrunk in my chair so she could feel better about herself. I did. I shrunk in my chair. And you know what I mean. Like you lean into it like this. Make sure my head was not passing her head. I did. I literally sunk in like, what's up? She did have an S name in case any of you were wondering. But you know, I don't reveal names. At least I try not to. Unlike the other episode. I said, what's up? Because she likes to talk to me like she's cool. Like she's one of the girls. That's like her way of getting in. She thought I didn't catch it, but I was like, bitch, who you playing? You don't talk our lingo. What the fuck are you doing? And so I can always catch a fake. And so I was like, what's up? She said, I had a complaint about a patient yesterday. She emailed me and told me what you said to her. I said, you're going to have to be specific. We had 40 to 60 patients that we drew their blood. So please enlighten me. I can't tell you her name. Okay. How am I supposed to know what I did wrong, to whom I did it to, if you're not going to reveal her name to me? That's a code of HIPAA violation. That's convenient. How am I supposed to correct my mistakes if you don't tell me who it was? So, as she proceeded to tell me, she said, well, she's a cancer patient. That's why she comes here, for internal medicine, to doctors, quote unquote. Okay, so she was already pulling rank. Okay? And she comes here for their expertise in healing. When she said it like that, I knew. Ah, okay. I suffer through cancer too. I have many times had it reoccur to me. And I mean, she had this fucking angry face, like, fuck you. Who the fuck do you think you are? Blah, blah, blah. Mind you, I'm nobody. I'm just a phlebotomist. And I'm a part-time. No, I'm not even part-time. I'm more of a girl who covers. I was the one they would call to cover when people called out sick, or when people went on vacation, or people had to go to a doctor's office, or something came up and happened to their kid. I was the one to cover. That was my job. So I went. And I was at that clinic. And she told me that. I said, okay. She said, I don't know what it is that you do on the side. She said, yeah, when you're off work hours, what you're doing. Like I was some type of gypsy out on the street trying to manipulate people to get money off of them. I said, I didn't collect a donation if you're asking. Oh, I didn't even think that. She said, that is not something that is called for here. I would advise that you don't do it anymore. Your opinions are not needed. I said it wasn't my opinion she asked. She asked for a higher opinion. I just happened to be the vessel. And she did not like that comment because I talked back. I was supposed to sit there, don't say anything, shut up, and listen and take it. And well, if you know me by now, you should know I don't stay quiet. Especially when you're wrong. She said, well, whatever. Once I hear the whatever, it's like they don't know what to say. That I already stomped her. I was like, oh, okay. Whatever. But please, let it stop here. Let it stop today. Let's not do this anymore. I said, okay. Okay. And that was it. She can't write me up because I don't work for that company. So she was like fucked because she couldn't take power control over the fact that she wrote me up and put it on my permanent record. When I came out of the meeting, when she did say that she had cancer, I remember it because I'm hearing it right now. She said, I have cancer too, and I've been struggling with it too, and I don't know what, and blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know. I didn't. But the divine will reveal these pieces to you. Slowly. Calculated. And I went back to our little corner of where we draw blood. And the coworker was like, dude, what did she say? I said, she's mad because I went over her helmet. I was like, did you know she has cancer? And she's like, yeah. I mean, the girl, the permanent phlebotomist who always worked that counter, that clinic, was like, yeah, I know. I went there even though she was there to help because she had been getting slammed with people. We're talking about 60 to 80 people within an 8-hour shift. Sometimes that in the 4-hour gap, like from 8 to 12 or whatever, we would be hit with like 40 people. Imagine there was only one girl to draw 40 people. There's just no way. So they send in another phlebotomist to come in to cover the large amount of people. She told me, she's like, yeah, I knew. I didn't know. She brought it up. Oh, so she's talking about the other cancer patient that you were talking to, right? That you were helping, that you were showing her about God and stuff. I said, yeah. I said, because the other coworker knew what I was doing. That I help, that I channel for God. Some people knew. Some people thought I was lying. Some people thought I was pulling a fast one. Some people thought I was just some gimmick. This is why I always say, you can believe me or don't believe me. It's on you. It has nothing to do with me. And so my coworker was like, dang. She's like, I never liked her anyways. And I said, why? Well, she's fake. Yeah, I know. I picked up on that too. She tries to be goody two shoes. She tries to be your friend. Like, she knows like what it's like to be, you know, and people like to throw out the race card. But for me, when they throw out the race card, it talks more about the tax bracket. How much money you make. I think that's why a lot of people throw out the race card. Because it's automatic. If you're this culture, you make this sort of money. Like, statistically saying. That's not a fact. But in statistics, it is. Because people tend to hold each other down instead of uplift one another. Especially in the same race and the same religion. Trust me, I've been there, done that. And yes, they do. They're the lobsters. They're all the women lobsters in the boiling pot holding each other down. And if I die, you die. Like that. While the male lobsters were fucking trying to lift everybody up. Like, hurry up, let's get out of this pot here. Help me, grab this. Push them, help them, get out. This is why I always gravitated more towards men. When a man is in a situation that they can't get out of, or when a man is in a situation where he feels stuck, or shit's about to happen, the man will do something. Now, it's not all men, because some men have the mentality of a woman, and that's what I call a bitch. Because he struggles with mommy issues. Because that's where it starts from. Ooh. Coming back to the song Zombie. This is what's in your head. This is what's frying your egg. And it's the drug that you're on. And it might not be the ones they sell on the street. It might be the ones that come in a little orange bottle. Did people ever wonder why it's orange? Did anybody question why it's orange? Nope. I will tell you. Go put something metal that's painted black in the sun. And if it turns orange, that means you went through the darkness and you've come out through the end of the light, into the tunnel of light, and you have reached the light. You have reached the end of the darkness. It has turned orange. Aren't you glad you're not a banana? But that's how it goes. So with much love and light, let this message heal you, feel you, and see you. Adios.